everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So this is a video that I've been teasing for a little while. So ever since I got these gorgeous books from kikki.k, I have been absolutely obsessed with foiling like this. It is beautiful and I had no idea how it was done, and I love these books too much to actually tear apart. So what I did is I went Googling and found out about a thing called a Minc machine. And a Minc machine, basically a heating machine that transfers foil, like this one, from the foil to the paper. I explained that really badly, but you get the general gist. I'm sure most of you know what foiling is anyway. When I went looking for it, I sort of thought that the Minc is a little bit expensive. It's like $120 for the mini. I think it's $199. This is Australian dollars for the actual main big size. And I just thought that was a lot of money to spend on something that really only does one thing. So what I did was I went Googling again and found a couple of tips on YouTube about using just a normal old laminator to do the same thing. Because basically your Minc machine is just a heating machine, and so that's nothing that your laminator can't do. So what I've been doing is kind of experimenting with a bunch of different foils. So I've got a few here. And I'm going to sort of walk you through each of these one by one and then show you how I've been using it in my Minc machine and how what the results sort of come up with on different surfaces and using different kinds of printers. So to sort of start off with, I'll show you the different kinds of foils that I've been playing with. So I've got these four, and these are all ones, except for this one, are ones that I'm actually going to show you what the result is when you've been using it. So this one you would have seen in my Blitzy haul. The only reason I'm not going to show you this is because I only have 4 pieces of this. It's come a long way and can't buy it anywhere else. So I haven't been playing with this one yet. I'm sort of saving it for a special occasion. But the rest of it I have plenty. So these are 4 different rolls of Minc foil. I bought them all from Spotlight. I have the rose gold, the silver. That's not silver. That's holographic silver and teal. And then I've got these 2 as well. I found these at Spotlight the other day, but I know you can also get them at Lincraft. These are the Couture Creations heat activated foils, and this one's in the gold sparkles. I'm trying to find the actual name of it. Gold foil iridescent speckled, and this one is the silver foil matte material. So these 2 are actually really similar, but they just have a slight different finish, which I really enjoyed. So that's all the different foils that I'm going to be showing you. The different sort of, I guess, finishes or different things I'm going to be foiling to sort of show you how they all work. So I have 3 solid stars. So I've got just a plain white star. I have a star that I have printed on black paper and a star that I've printed on vellum. So these have all been printed using a laser printer. With any foiling, you need to be using a laser printer if you haven't got one at home. And I'll put up a picture now of the one that we have. This is one that Ryan's work provides, so it's not definitely not one that the everyday person needs nor should have. But Ryan works in this sort of field, so he's very lucky that he gets a big printer. But if you haven't got a laser printer at home, you can just head down to Officeworks or any place like that, and they will be able to print out for you. And the other thing I'm going to be showing you is just to show you something a little bit more delicate, I guess. This is a printable that Sammy from Planners Anonymous sent out to everybody who had been subscribed to the Free Spirit kit. Just little words, they look gorgeous, and I just thought this was a way to be able to show you sort of what it can do a little bit more delicately. Any of these can be printed out. Like, you can just Google, probably can't get this exact one, but something similar, you can Google images it and just put it into Photoshop and print it out. It's really easy. So we'll start off with just showing you how, I guess, you use the basic start of it. So I'm going to grab some of this foil out. And what I'll do is I'll show you once with one colour, and then I'll go ahead and do it all with the other, and then we'll send it all through the laminator at the same time. So I tend to keep little bits that are sort of scraps, just so that I don't waste any. So I'll be able to use a couple of these here. So you just grab the foil. It is really light. It's not a heavy material at all. So I'm just going to cut this bit here in half. And you just lay it over what you want to foil. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for all of the rose gold bits. Whoops. I've even got some hidden up there. It's hidden everywhere. Just trying to see if that's enough to go over there. Cut it a bit too close. So you don't need to have too much more than what you need. Unfortunately, anything that you don't use basically gets wasted, so try not to put too much unless you have to. See, like that one's really close to not fitting, but it is going to sit there nicely, so that's okay. And then with the rolls, like just to show you how it sort of comes out here. So you get a fair lot in these rolls. I'm pretty sure the big rolls are $19.95, just from Spotlight. You can also buy them at Craft Online. I know I'm slightly off camera here. I'm just trying to cut it straight. It needs to be a bit closer to me. You can get them from Craft Online. You can also get them from Blitsy, and I'll put links down below so you can try and find them. And there are heaps and heaps and heaps of different colours. So if you don't like rose gold, if you don't like the teal, you can obviously try as many different colours as you like. The reason that I have so many different colours other than I want to use them, and why I'm going to show you so many different colours today, is because some of them, do better through the laminator than others. Some work really well, some don't quite work as well. So it's a bit of trial and error when you're not using the proper Minc machine. And I haven't actually ever used a Minc, so I don't know how this technically compares to the Minc machine. But if you've been following me on Instagram, you'll know that I purchased a Cricut last week, and I'm teaching myself how to use that at the moment. So I'll show you, once I actually know how to use it, I'll do a full tutorial on it. But I can't really justify spending more money on another machine when I just bought my Cricut. So one job at a time. But it really has worked out to be a good way. So there's all my little bits all covered. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them all out. I'm going to sort of snap to it because it's going to take me a long time to do this. I'm going to cut them all out, cover them all up, and have them ready to go through the laminator. Show you how it goes through the laminator, and then we'll do a big reveal at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and get all the other ones ready, and I'll be back in just a second. Alright, so I've now cut out 6 copies of every sheet in the right size. So as you can see, I've got a lot of piles here. If you buy the Minc machine, you actually get a protector to send it through your laminator, because you can't just send it through. You can. I've seen videos of people doing it, but I don't want to be the one testing it in case I break my laminator. Obviously I don't have that protector sheet, and when I tried to buy it on Blitsy, it wouldn't send it to Australia, which I think is a little odd. But what I've been doing instead, pushing these off, is just protecting it with a piece of A4 paper that I have folded in half. This is just slightly heavier than normal paper, but obviously the thinner paper you can get, the better. Don't use vellum though, that might waste a piece of vellum. So all I'm going to do, and I'll just sort of show you on this one, and then I'll actually send it through the laminator in a second. I've just got to get it to heat up. So you just put the bit that you want straight in there, cover it up, and then that goes through the laminator just like that. So I'm going to go and heat my laminator up, and I'll be back in just a sec. So this is my laminator. This is just a Lowell one that I bought from Officeworks so long ago I actually don't remember. It's just an A4 size one, but any kind of laminator will do. I haven't seen anything on any YouTubes or any blogs or anything that says it needs to be a particular kind of laminator. Just anything that's going to heat up a lot is going to do the job. Alright, so my little green light has gone on, which means we are ready. So what I'm going to do is put a couple, I think I can put 2 in here at a time, and it'll fit nicely. I could do 3, but I don't want to. I think 3 might be just a bit much. So you put it exactly where you want it. Make sure your foil is covering your design, and then close it off. And I always put mine in spine first, just I feel like it secures better that way. Less chance of it wandering around. And you just wait for it to pop out the other side. And then you can see this is now stuck. It's not going to come off. I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to do it all at the end. We'll do a big reveal thing at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and throw all of these through the laminator just to show you with something slightly bigger. I'll show you this one as well. So I'll just put that in the middle. Make sure it's in the right spot. And cover it up. Make sure it's at the top. Ryan said to put it at the top, so I'm doing what Ryan says. And just wait for it to take. Obviously you can use a ton of different kinds of paper, like different folded bits of paper if you want to, but just using the same one over and over again works really fine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put all of these through, and then we'll be back for the big reveal. Alrighty, so we now have a lot of paper sitting in front of us ready to be revealed, and I'm very, very excited. So I'm gonna start off with the rose gold ones. So I'll show you all of them in turn. So we'll start off with the big one. And what I found is easy, and have no idea if this is up the right way or not. No, it's not, it's that way. Is just to be really gentle with it and just peel it off slowly. And that tends to get the best results. So that has just about come off perfectly. I don't think there's actually any black coming through. And then hopefully you guys can see this. I'll put zooms in as well. But that's just about perfect except for one teeny weeny little spot. So that's the rose gold there, and then showing you on all the different kinds. So then we've got just the plain white paper. So they're not always exactly perfect, but sometimes they're generally pretty close. That one's got a couple little speckles on it. And then we've got the black. Whoops. Yeah, that one hasn't come through quite as nicely. I actually like that effect though. I think that was the thing with this cardboard. I think this cardboard happens to be just a little bit textured, and that's why that does that, but I actually really like the way that comes off. And then you've got the vellum, and I've just missed a little bit with the corner there, and it's done something similar with the vellum, I think, but it's still got a really nice finish to it. That looks really cool, even if it's not a full solid color. So that's the rose gold. The reason I'm showing you all different ones on different finishes is because each of the different foils actually finishes slightly differently. So by showing you as many as I can, I'm hoping you get sort of the gist of how all of it works. That way. You could, if you were that way inclined, use this, like redo this. Like you could probably put that in like a paper frame and use the reverse side if you wanted to. I love the way this blue comes up. And that one has come up just about perfectly. I don't know if that's actually translating very well in the light, but I'll keep giving it a shot, and then I'll do the zooms as well. So you've got the star. There we go. Slight imperfection there, but generally pretty good. You've got the black. That looks so cool though. And unfortunately, no matter how many times I did that, I probably wouldn't replicate it, but I just think it looks awesome. And then got the vellum. Oh, that one's turned out good. See, this one is a bit, I think I like the blue one. I think in all my experiments, the blue always comes up really nicely. And then just to show you what the reverse thing looks like again, like that would look cool on its own as well. So then this one is the Heidi Swapp Holographic, because we've got two. I'll just be really particular on which one is which. So this one's the Heidi Swapp one, and I'm pretty sure with the holographics, and this goes for both of them, I've put them horizontal, so the holographic tends to go that way. You can obviously put it around the other way and then it goes a slightly different way, and I think I have one I was playing with. I'll get that out in a second and show you what I mean by that, by going the other way. And you got your white paper. Oh, I guess that kind of gives this kind of shows you what I mean. So you can have it that way and the holographic goes up and down, or you can have it that way and the holographic goes sideways. We got the black. Ooh, how cool does that look? I've missed a little bit on the corner there, which doesn't look so great, but I love the way that's come up. And then we've got the vellum. Alright, the vellum doesn't look quite as good. I'm not sure if you can send them through the laminator twice. I haven't tried it often enough to know if it actually makes a difference. I think it's, for me, it would just be not a waste, but useless use of the foil, because you really can't use this bit again. And I just have a feeling that sending it back through again with a different piece of foil would just be kind of wasteful. Then we got the gold. This is again the Heidi Swapp one. And I'm really impressed. They've all come off perfectly. Like a couple of the ones I've been playing with beforehand have been a bit more hit and miss. Like they haven't come across quite so nicely with the finishes, especially on the words. Oh, that's just about perfect. Look at that. So cool. I'm kind of trying to go a little bit faster here because I know that this is all getting a little bit boring just watching me peel. That one looks awesome. And we've got the vellum. I'm hoping this one looks good. Ooh, that's a good one. Especially at Christmas, this has got some really good ways that you could use it. You could make almost all of your own decorations if you wanted to and foil them, if you're going to make them out of paper. So this is the, I can't remember what the brand's called, sorry, the Couture Creations holographic foil. So it is slightly different to the Heidi Swapp one. I think it's got more of a matte finish, I think is what they say. So it definitely looks slightly different when you look at it on the page. And I'm hoping when I zoom in, you'll be able to see that. That just looks awesome. So pretty. And we've got the white. Yeah, that one hasn't worked very well. Okay, we've kind of decided that it doesn't work so well on the plain white paper with the black, which is weird. You'd think it would look just as good as it would on the solid, but oh well. There we go. It's just stuck. That one looks better. Whew. The hollow on that is awesome. And then the vellum. Oops, I've got both of them there. I think if you rub them, they might make a difference. And you still need a little bit more experimenting with these, obviously, but you're getting the general gist. And this is the last one. This is, again, the Couture Creations. This is the gold sparkles. There's one there that hasn't quite worked, but that's okay. Love this one. I'm not generally a gold person, but something about the speckles just gets me every time. Got the white. Ugh, that one hasn't worked at all. Might have to send that back through again before I unpeel it properly. Yeah, that one hasn't worked either. Try the vellum. Might have to do one more run through. Yeah, that hasn't stuck down. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to peel this off. I'm going to put these all back through my laminator again. So, just give me 2 seconds and I'll run them back through again. I'm going to try without the paper on top. I'm not afraid that it's going to break, so I'm going to run these through my laminator again because I've got to heat it up and everything, but I'll show you guys in fast motion so you can sort of watch along. So I'll do that in fast motion. So I had a slight panic with this one. I thought it got stuck, but it didn't. So we'll go and have a see what this looks like. I'm hoping that it has worked. There we go. Okay, she's not perfect, but still. So good. A little bit of black. Whoa! Ah, that looks awesome. How good's that? I love when things work not better, but differently than what I thought they would. This one I've missed a corner, so it's okay. that one's turned out really nicely as well. You can just rub some of this. And like I said, I still need to do a bit more experimenting to see what works best. Just from doing that, I'm a little bit less worried now about putting them through without the paper on top. And I think I might try a couple more doing it that way to show you sort of something that I've made with it. This was right at the start when I just sort of started experimenting with this, but this was just was it in this one or was it in my other one? Must be my other planner. Sorry, hold on, I'll just grab it. It's in this one. I did know that, I just forgot. So that was just one that I did right at the start, just with a dream then do kind of motif that I printed out. Just did that on Photoshop and then put it on some black paper. There's a couple of little spots here where it's not quite so great, but generally speaking it turned out really nicely. So there's just a way that you can use these in your planner. I am experimenting with making stickers and things now, so that's sort of something that I'll probably end up using these for. But just in general, that's a way that you can save yourself $150 to $200 by buying yourself a Minc machine, especially if you've already got a laminator. But my best advice with it is grab yourself some of the foil. These little ones from Spotlight or Lincraft, I think these are only like $8. And I think from Blitzy, I think this one I got for $12. They're not all that expensive. If you want to just grab a little roll to play with, grab yourself some printables. The kikki.k printables would be really good with some of this, guys. I've just realised that. Might have to do one next month depending on what it is. But just experiment with it, see what you get. No two are ever going to be exactly the same. And I don't know if that's a drawback or a good thing. I'm not quite sure. But I'm going to have certainly going to have a bit of a play with the foiling from now on and see what I can come up with. So please give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Thank you to everybody on YouTube, and I can't name all the videos I watched because there were far too many. But thank you to everyone on YouTube whose idea this was. This one certainly wasn't mine, but I just thought I would show you how you can use your laminator. I'll link a couple of the videos down below so you can go and check them out if you want to. I have no idea where the idea came from, but I'm just jumping on the bandwagon here. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. Remember, my live video is coming up next Wednesday night at 8 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. If there's anything in that video you want to see, let me know down below, or you can find me on any of my social medias. Hope you guys have a really, really awesome day, and I will see you again really, really soon. Thanks a lot. Bye!